This is a beautiful theme song that opens and closes the bumper show on ELBC Radio. It's 99.9 on other frequencies across Liberia. 89.9 is our commercial, not commercial, but musical radio station. It's Metro FM. Other frequencies across Liberia. Over 9 radio stations across Liberia. Under the auspices of ELBC relay this program in partnership with other community radio stations across Liberia. Radio Sanquain, Radio Diampilo, Radio Kintoma. Those two stations in Foya district also relay the Bomber Show, while Radio Sanquain is in Sanakole also relays this program. You cannot afford to go away because it promises to be good. As always on this week, as we celebrate International Men's Day, and the promises will be very big. ELBC in collaboration with other partners are celebrating this day. And it's slated for the 19th of this month. But preparation is on the way here in LBS compound. Yesterday, men of the system, they received accolades for the work they've done. This morning, I listened to the pastor and I listened to the imam. They were telling us the importance of men in the society. Oh yes, it is on ELBC Radio. On the flip side of 5 o'clock, a man who is involved in the academia area will join me to talk about education. He is concerned about the future of Liberian young people, the kids, the youth, and whatsoever, those who find themselves in school, and those who are not in school. He is concerned. He has recommendations to make to the Minister of Education. Mr. Ramsey Gore will be my guest on the flip side of 5 o'clock. At 4 o'clock, any minute from now, we talk to some men on the importance of International Men's Day. Men of LBS are standing tall right now to celebrate International Men's Day. And somebody said to me, it is unprecedented in the history of Liberia for men to celebrate this day. I've only heard about women celebrating the day, International Women's Day. Welcome to the show. It is a bumper to bumper show. My name is Jallah Grayfield. I'm the nation's heavenly J. Preferably call me Kiang Barak Blue. Or is it you want to cow? Remember Jallah Grayfield chapter 1 verse 1. Let's talk and talk and talk and never shall we fight. Fighting shall never be our portion. Fighting shall never be our portion. So, as I said, and I always say, we bring one of the language announcers from the Rural Broadcasting Department, headed by Isaac Gaezon Red, to pray for the country, pray for the president, pray for the vice president, pray for the pro tempore, and pray for the speaker, all elected and appointed officials in the country, and pray for all Liberians wherever they find themselves. On this beautiful Tuesday afternoon, Otelo Media, the man from Bassa land, way there in Riverside County, will pray for us in Bassa. Mwele Otelo.
Mwele Bajala.
Mwele.
Mwele Bajala. Amwenge akiba. Apomo ki agripo aponso bo senje. Aponso kabana deji de be. Akede nyine banye moyo be pa ni bo. Monyo be ni. Dabo ne kwala ke kobe adika be. Oni de kanana ke kwa ponye be ngo runyi. Asa abrona ke kuna apene kwanyi. Ba bro ba yobo. Ba anyo frefrebe be wani komna ka nanya bo pomo nani nyue bedde bwa ke aninji blai pomo wa jueji ka be na nyue che sepode ati ka ru ko te se ndondo yani bo pani ati de roblia ke nyi ke amuni nyine ba abande ba de Jesus me mu.
Amen. That's the man Otelo Media praying for us in the Bassa vernacular. Let's go now to PCK as he crowns it all with this song called Protect Our Leaders. PCK, where are you? Let me find PCK. Protect our leaders.
PCK, it's a pleasure. Oh, Papa, ya pampa, the turning and the car to go, turning and the guy, the turning and the car, bro. You do make up. Bagere to gala, Abaya to make up for me. Bagere to gala, Abaya to make up for me. Ilomania, I you gonna go. If you give my
I love to GP.
Nega baga, ananga kalebo, the kalebo, the kapabaga. Oh, you to make up me, you to make up for me. Babena wala, you to make up for me. You to make up for me. You to make up.
Oh yeah, the man PCK is asking God to protect our leaders. Protect the president, save his journey as he travels around the world. His Excellency Ambassador Dr. George Upamane, Bagube Se Koze Fokakron, Jirate Tanan Tapewia. Protect the Vice President, Niswakoko, Mayor Joy Howard Tiller.
I love my country. I love my people. Father, save us from the pandemic.
Father, save us from this pandemic.
Especially our leader.
Pape, Primo is going now. Mama Bridge going. Unamue, Mevin Kokayangao.
Baba Mumbe Kayangao. Elo Kafa Kayangao. Lata Topa Kayanga. Dido Yoga Yanga. Papa Kola Kayanga. You're the makeup for me.
You're the makeup for me. Welcome to the Bumper Show on ERBC Radio 99.9 and other frequencies across the world. When I say across the world, we are on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, as well. Those are international platforms. Once the man Anthony Williams is behind the camera, I know all is better. Let me say welcome to the show, my auntie Esti, that's Siatama. She always follows the show. Yet the guy is asking God, Father, protect our people. Let me recognize some of the guys who have joined us already on a live Facebook feed.
Oh, Excellency, Mama
As I with my guests, Bobby Livingston, who have been here up at this point, and there was a miscommunication. I would say take him along with the other guys coming. They are all males, right? We didn't talk about International Men's Day from the perspective of being a lawyer. Nyanyo Miller is on this platform this afternoon. Juje Wanweg is here from Johnsonville. Honorable George Watkins speaking said, good afternoon, Jallah Grayfield, and a pleasant good afternoon to the peace-loving people of Riverside County, the land of supremacy. Thanks for the show. I'm following you live from the township of Johnsonville this afternoon. Casino Wisa said, good afternoon, Jallah Grayfield. I'm Casino Wisa following you from Banners of Viewer A1. Avin Mempro Choco Blanco Deba, watching from GSC Road Belt.
It's best Liberia.
Let's just pay our training fees. Majority of us haven't received yet. All of those have been addressed. Zenenbrooks from Nigeria is watching me. Zenenbrooks, how are you this afternoon?
I love
Maswell, Grace, that's Maswell. Johnson is here. If all goes well, Bobby Livingston will join us in a discussion to make it so spicy and very bigger. George Lamadan said, good afternoon, Jallah Grayfield. I'm following you from District 6 GSA Road Community. Jeff says, Washington Cassidy Boulevard, Japan Freeway. Zuba Kova said, big brother Jallah, I'm watching you from Tenembuma, Quarter Zone 4, Vanyama City, Lofa County. Thanks for the show, he says. Amara SM Masale said, watching you from Vanyama City, Lofa County. Prince Tiwia said, good afternoon, Mr. Grayfield. I'm joining you from Plebo City, Maryland County. Thanks for the show. Keep working on this as a Liberian journalist. Thanks for joining us all. Let me recognize the rest of you who've joined us already. Abbas Fofana says he's watching from where I don't know. Fred Yeba Jr. and our correspondent in Nima County says he's following from Tabata City. He's a good job. Khalifa Kali Esmawolo. Good afternoon, Jallah. I'm following you from Lakbasi community. Oliver Gavler says, Jallah, good afternoon. I'm following you from Banga City, Bon County. Christian Tukbakpala. Following up from Banga. James Pangnaku Jr. Good afternoon, Jallah Grayfield. I'm watching you from my sister community home. Speak of the truth, brother, and nothing but the truth. Are you back critical for Kabah? Fighting for Clariton, Liberia. Emma Hamad has joined us from the state. He says he's joining us from Kakada City. Charity Zagama has joined us from Lufa County. Murphy P. Newman Flomo. Fighting from Banga City, he says. Thanks to all of you who join us. I will see read your comments coming later. I'm not seeing Aaron Jukoyan Bobo on his line. The lady who follows us very well from the Office of the Director General. Welcome to the show. Aaron Jukoyan Bobo has joined me with an apology for joining us late in the show. Harriet Lila Brisbane, I'm doing well. We'll be doing well somewhere this day. Have a good day. Welcome to Liberia. Good. Welcome to LBS. Welcome to the Bumper Show. It is a presentation this afternoon. Tomorrow I will be here again. Thursday will be Azerad. And if all goes well, we move to Banga City, where the election will be held. The president of Liberia election will be held. I'm expecting Mr. Councillor Bobby Livingston as well. He is part of this International Men's Day celebration. This covers every man. Every man is part of it. So he's coming in his capacity as a lawyer. These distinguished brothers of mine who are in the studio now, Mr. Maxwell Johnson and that of my Public Affairs Director, Victor Cassidy, will tell us the preparation from the angle of LBS. Bobby Livingston will tell us about the importance of this day from the angle of being a lawyer. What are men so important in a lawyering position? Just a few minutes ago, you heard the erudite lawyer, Councillor Kanyo Bagbala, was here talking about the rule of law and all of those. So they will be here as my guests. So let me give you. I wanted to give you a bit of information about it. I want to give you some. How do I call it? A synopsis. If I don't want to say a gist, I want to give you a synopsis about the day. But let me welcome my distinguished and brothers in the studio already. Maxwell Grayfield. I'm saying Maxwell Grayfield. Maxwell Grayfield is another lawyer, though. Let me say welcome to you, Maxwell Johnson.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jallah.
Maxwell, I think your microphone is on from there.
Yeah, thank you. My mic is on.
Okay. Victor Cassidy, welcome.
Thank you, Honorable Grayfield.
So welcome, gentlemen. I've been seeing a lot of preparation going on at LBS. Yesterday, you guys were flowering us. The ladies were putting flowers on us. Candies those edible candies were all on our chest. And that was the beginning of the celebration. What happens today and what is happening for the next few days? Maswell.
Jallah, thank you so much for this invite. For the first time, LBS is joining the rest of the world to celebrate International Men's Day. And this day is set aside across the world, even though it's a strange event in Liberia. But nevertheless, we want to join the rest of the world this year. And so we've been doing a lot of preparation. This thing started almost 4 months ago.
Okay.
And the committee headed by Brother Emmanuel and Kai has been...
And where is he?
He's around.
I heard a man dramatizing this morning.
Oh yes. I mean,
He's a good talker. I
He's
appreciate
around.
it.
He's around, and we put everything into this thing here. There have been a lot of meetings we have had to have this because this is the first one, right? And so we tried as best as possible to ensure that we arrive at where we are today. So
Okay.
the International Men's Day is a strange phenomenon in Liberia. Yes, well, globally it's been celebrated across the world, especially in the Western world.
Okay.
And so we try to incorporate it because, as someone said, is it because you have International Women's Day? We said no. But what is very much important of this day is, it's good that we as men should celebrate ourselves. Because in every facet of society, the level of contribution men are making, okay? From the home, from the workplaces, and every sector. And so this is why, in our own wisdom, we thought it wise that we'll not just celebrate this day with fanfare. We have to have some thematic discussions, taking place. I think, like you said yesterday, it started yesterday, it continues today, and we'll do it tomorrow, and Thursday will be climaxing. So, on the various days, we decided
Go ahead. Sorry.
on the various days we decided to call men. I'm not just talking about any men, but professional men who have impacted society in their various sectors, to come and enlighten not only men at LBS, but enlighten society. For instance, you're talking about the erudite lawyer, our own brother Bobby Livingstone. He's coming to talk about the role of men in the judicial sector. All right, the role of men in the judicial sector, and you can say for free that men over the years, when you look at the history of Liberia, men in our sector have done extremely well. So what is our responsibility as men? What have we been doing? How impactful we have made in our sector, for instance. Today, this morning you heard, we were talking about religion, the role of men in religion, right? And you heard the reverend, you heard the imam, okay? So men have been contributing very well in those sectors. And so every day we have these thematic discussions, and they are going very well. But the underlying factor of this celebration is not just about men. The theme of this year's celebration, we have international theme and we have local theme. The international theme is the importance of gender equality. And the local theme is let me see it very well. I can see too well.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
fostering,
Let the men help you. The men will have 4 eyes.
yeah, I don't,
fostering better relationship
All right.
between men and women.
so you see, in the
public
workplace,
and private places.
fostering better relationship. And the reason why this team has been is something that we want to look at very critically, is because in the workplace, most time you hear women complaining about, the way they are treated in the workplace. Okay, some say they are marginalized, some say they are brutalized, and they are intimidated, and so, as long as we live together, as long as we work together, we want to have that cordiality where men and women can work together. And, we want to, we are not necessarily saying that those things will not exist, but we want to create an awareness also there that, look, women are not just partner, but to some extent, they are partners that we should work with. We should create an environment for them to work, all right? And so, like in the case of LBS, okay, we see women and men working together, especially from our top managerial staff, right? We have women among them, we have men among them, and they are working together. So that credit will not only be seen from the men perspective, it will be seen from the holistic perspective that, look, men and women are working together at LBS to make the system vibrant. So that's the kind of message we want to send out there.
All right, Victor, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Jallah.
You are on the publicity committee of this whole thing. Tell us, how would the program be like are you inviting other people from outside? Because like this year, so when there was an International Women's Day, the women went to the ministerial complex, had a good time with their friends, and they relocated somewhere for some fanfare. What is it for the Men's Day?
Well, for our situation, we actually, try to invite other people to come here so that they can be part of this awareness on radio and on television, so that at least we can emphasize the importance of the day. However, we as men, we say men of LBS, actually have decided that after going through all of these activities, uh, especially on the compound here, where we as men will be together, we will team up, and we have lunch together during lunchtime, and then to make sure that we create more awareness together there, we have decided that on the climax of the day, we will go to on a local beach to make sure that we have time to have fun, to share fun. Because there's a saying that all work without play makes Jack a dull boy. And we have been working here over time. So we see this as an opportunity, at least to assemble as men, to be able to share fun and reflect on the day. So obviously, we have not invited different people to join us on that day because preparation is made, especially when it comes to entertainment, refreshment. We have a target, and based on that target from the advice from our advisors, we are going to have a limited number of people selected so that we'll be able to cater to them. That at least they themselves will feel a part of that process, and when they leave from there, there will be a message. So actually, it's going to be among us as men of LBS. But the signal will go out there.
And I see the chairman of the committee calling Mr. Carr. Mr. Carr, I will take you if you're around. Just come to the studio. We see awaiting Mr. Bobby Livingston. If he comes in the next 45 minutes, we can take you up to 4 or 5:15. Then when the guests from the education sector will come and join me to talk about education. Bobby Livingston promised to be here at 4. Apparently, sometime traffic is holding him back somewhere. Let me go to Mr. Carr. Emmanuel Carr, welcome. How are you?
Thank you, Mr. Grayfield. Face the nation.
Yeah, Face the Nation. Leave your radio small now. Reduce the monitor.
Yeah, we are so happy to be on the Bomber Show this evening. The men are LPS. We are ready to celebrate International Men's Day. I want to commend my colleague in studio. I'm coming from Sean, on the mobile.
Okay.
Business. But we just want to appreciate management and all of the men we are in here for this week. And the DJ is the 19th, but we'll be celebrating on Thursday. We'll be ending our celebration on Thursday.
And why are you ending the celebration before it ends?
Yeah, because PUL, we are working with a media entity, and they will be going to vote for the president of Nigeria. So they will be in Bangkok. So we have to do our celebration before Saturday.
Okay, so you Marcel and his colleague had just told us the theme of this celebration. But do you want to bring us a speed as to how this day came about, Mr. Carr?
Yeah, and this day came about in the year 1992. Thomas Oxford, who was able to start this day on February 7th in 1992. In Moscow, he was able to put the men together, trying to celebrate men being here. And then later on February 7th, 1994, the day was celebrated. But however, we did not get the full extension of the world that of UK, Australia, United States, and other people until Jerome Tuckerson, who came from Trinidad and Tobago, who is a historian, was able to take on by 1999.
Okay.
And by that time, he was able to bring the word attention to men, just as we have the women celebrating the day March 8th. Men should be celebrated because we are the ones who give children to women. And so since then, November 19th, which is his father's birthday, he he was able to put the day forth and the world has accepted it. Now, today, the world has accepted Men's Day, and countries like the United States, countries like Australia, Croatia, and other countries, and even right here in West Africa, they are all celebrating Men's Day to try to tap on what we are doing, our achievements.
Okay, Mr. Card. Is there anything funny you want to say? Because I know you've gone to town to procure some things. Am I correct?
I just want to tell the men that people need to show us love because we are very critical to the development of this world. Thank you, and then God bless all of us as we celebrate Men's Day. Thank you. I'm more back coming towards Tuesday.
All right, Mr. Carr. Emmanuel Carr is the chairperson of this year's International Men's Day. He was calling on a mobile from Central Town heading for Pennsville. If you just joined us, this is the Bumper Show. And I have two distinguished men with me here. Mr. Maswell Johnson and Dr. Victor Kessler are here. But it's a sponsor of this day. On this day, I just been told by Jason until Wajla. There's a group. Previously, this place was managed by the Young Bese, but now it is under the new administration called Asial Sanctuary Derived. Okay, that's the name. It derived from art, culture, heritage, and linkages. But and she'll come again and whisper the name to me because I don't know. Yeah, so this group is taking over, and they want to get in partnership with LBS. We'll do a lot of work for them as well, and they will give us some dividend as well. We'll get some dividend as a result of giving them promotion. But they will be they have taken over from Young Basic Lodge, I'm told. It is a new management, and it's called Asha Sanctuary, and that name derived from arts, culture, heritage, and linkages. So they will be giving us the beach on that day for our Men's Day celebration. That falls on Thursday, I'm told, right?
Yeah, yes.
So all men of LBS will be heading to the beach, and vehicles will be provided for the men to go and come.
Of course.
And that is that is from the administration. Women, we stood by the women when they had International Women's Day, right?
And the women stood out yesterday. Okay, Jallah, let me say one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was too thrilled yesterday. And for the first time, I never saw the pouring of love that was shown all the men yesterday by the women of LBS. Let me say hats off to them. When we were in the planning stage, we would say, on that day, we don't want to see no more around us. But guess what?
You can't do away with the women.
Guess what? When the pinning session at the gate, at the entrance of the main building, when it started, Jallah, it was magnificent. Well, in fact, that process was led by the Director General. She came down from her office, and she mobilized all the women of LBS. And trust me, they bought their own candidates, right? And every one of us, were tagged yesterday. And that got all of us thrilled. And it tells us, like I said, right, fostering better relationship. And that was actually exhibited yesterday.
In my suit that I wore yesterday got ripped by the candidates, all of those. I was saying. So,
all our chests were decked up just like faster, generous.
Yeah, so when I got home, my daughter said, "Daddy, where you get all the candy from?" I said, "The poor." I said, "The poor were pinning me." She said, "I'll carry plenty candy to school." I said, "Here for you."
And so let me say hats up to them.
Yeah, they did well.
Yeah, so Jallah, let me come in small.
Okay,
just as Max was saying, the women actually they have the enthusiasm to an extent that they ban specking. Or peeping. Could you imagine? I would see Lady like Musu Saliv. She's always been coming around and saying, "What the men say?" And she said she was, going to call, and she actually called on the show.
I listened to her.
And she made her input.
And so I asked her, what fish out of frying this thing? She said, "No, I have a very big state of frying it."
So we appreciate the women. Actually, I'm a witness. They turn out in their numbers to pin the men, to celebrate us. And that's what I said, that it's very difficult that you will have men somewhere where women are not, or to put the women just in some kind of box, in isolation. If they don't feel good socially, we need to coexist and we need to work together, especially in the kind of professional area, at the job places when we work together, the team building. When we work together, they feel comfortable, and we ourselves will feel comfortable. So that was unique, and we hope others, will follow and continue. So I just want to make emphasis on the pillars.
Yeah, please.
There are 6 pillars that have been cataloged here on this IMD, that is referred to as International Men's Day, which we call the objectives. The objectives of the IMD. One, we have to promote positive male role models. Positive male role models. In that, many times men are perceived to be the bad guys, especially when you hear recently the issue of gender-based violence. Many times people just attribute it to men, even though there are times too, women too. They go the other way around, they do some things against the men, but have not been flagged.
Sometimes women can also use violence against
They
men.
do that.
We saw that in Maryland recently.
Jala, I know, a home where the woman will beat on the man and sit on top of him and say, "You don't talk," and that the person, that man was dictated to the real man. So sometimes, it beats my imagination when I hear all the time they say, "Oh, gender-based violence," and they talk about men carry on violence against women. I say sometimes let's look at the other side of the pendulum.
Yeah.
If women also
Sometimes we say gender, people just feel that woman.
yes, and gender does not only have to be restricted to women, because when you talk about gender, you have to have the masculine, the feminine, as male and female all. But what they do, they try to narrow it down to say women and boys. But what's about men? At the ministry, they say women and boys, and that was the reason why we said the gender ministry needed to be here to come and show us, why men.
I guess
men
you
issues
extended
are not-
invitation to the gender ministry.
Yes, we did that.
Did they respond to your invite?
We did that. I'm sure they're supposed to be here. The itinerary is there. They're supposed to be here. Because have this, arranged for them to be here. Maxwell we check up that because they were also captured. So we're talking about the objectives. We said number one, and not just to movie stars or sportsmen. So promotion of positive male role models in the job places, both public and private side, are very much important about everybody. The working class, the men who are living decent and honest life, because men's role should be demonstrated to show how they shape the world when it comes to peace, peaceful coexistence, people being safe, and they must be able to work to be able to reach their full potential. So we also have the second point, which has to do with to celebrate men's positive contribution to society, their community, their family. We know about marriage and family, and even child care and the environment. Men's role very much vital, because where there's no men, many times even the women complain of this single parent situation. Where
And then let me just hold you there, Victor. Most time people feel that it's only the women who are single parents, but there are some men, even,
absolutely,
who take care of their kids, right?
Yeah.
Some of the women born the kids and get walk out of the home and just dash the children
dash
with
the
their parents, with their fathers, and get move on. So that aspect of single parenting is not just unique to the women.
That's good. Thank you, Max. To continue on the third pillar, to focus, one of the objectives is to focus on men's health and well-being. Remember, a healthy man, a healthy body, brings about full potential. If the health of the man is not taken into consideration, there will be low productivity, the well-being, the social, the emotional, physical, and spiritual aspect. All of these things are embodiment. As you will see in recent time at LBS here, there's a kind of a prayer team that has been set up. And we actually admire it when we see a mixture. We have males and females teaming up to go and have lunch with Jesus, to invite the Spirit, to evoke the Spirit, and to pray for our individual problems, even for the entity, for the growth and development. That is important. So when men are there are roles in such things, in the spiritual aspect, the physical aspect, all are very much important. Pillar number four is to highlight discrimination against men in areas of social services. And that's why we've been talking about, when we say gender does not only mean women. It has to reflect both sexes. And of course, there should be a balance. It's because of even this imbalance that Thomas Oster, as you heard from our chairman, committee chairman, talking about it, brought that idea. Because in the Western world, especially in the workplaces, women were given that opportunity to have even a day to commemorate their activity, their values, and all of those things. And they left the men out. They were marginalized. That prompted Thomas Oster and others to come in to say, but the men too must be appreciated. They should appreciate them, and there should be a day set aside. Just as you have the March 8th. When you have March, and every year International Women's Day, they celebrate their day. Of course, This time is 19th November that has been accepted. All other countries are trying to buy into it gradually to see, even though they may have different teams, but they've tried to synchronize the team. We have national team and you may have local teams. And that's the reason why for us here we say fostering better relationship between men and women, in a job, at the job places. In the workplace.
All
so
right.
it's very much important because it moves away some of the problems or threats, intimidation, as you heard Maxwell talking about, marginalization, because there's a saying that in academia and in all of these technical area, what men can do, what women can do, men can also do. What men can do, women can
what
also
men can do, we can do it very well.
We can do it very well.
Yeah.
So let's go to
Before you go there, let me recognize some of the guys who joined us already on our live Facebook feed. James Sherman says he's following us from Dark Forest Community, Bopolu City, Bapolu County, while Mali Gadier is watching us along with her father, Emmanuel Gadier, and her mother, Mary Gadier, from the Police Academy area. Harry Boy Johnson said, hello, Jallah, thanks for the show. He's watching us on Caldwell. Ayuba Critical Fox Kaba has joined us, and then he's asked what happened to your eyeglasses, Chief. Man, my eyeglasses I know broke, so let me tell you the truth. And I only I was seeing so.
So I wonder what you mess up.
The only thing is Ayuba Critical Fox Kaba. I say, what happened with your eyeglasses?
Yeah,
Look at the other one there, but
I go look at the mercy with the jeans.
That's interesting.
that man just want to distract me. Zoe Wixnat Boudoir is watching us from VOA community. James Mulva has joined us. Prince Coblen, our correspondent, has also joined us on the live Facebook feed. Let me recognize the last few people. Okay, go ahead on the fourth pillar.
Okay, I think we've just done with the fourth. Let's go to the fifth. Because in the fourth pillar we say highlighting discrimination against men in area of social services, social attitude and expectations and law, even the law. Therefore, the law should be there for all. And if you have the gender section at the gender ministry, they talk about women and children.
Yeah.
And while there can be,
you don't have men and children.
there should be a section where it's just for men, because men's issue too should be flagged, as I said earlier on, that some of those violence meted against the men should be flagged equally and not to
But
be.
in Nima County, the other woman went and burned the man's house. They are all living
That is an
and
example.
say the man, in extramarital affairs.
Yeah, that is an example.
You know.
Why you couldn't go to the law? In my own mind, it's a violence against men, and people wouldn't want to run with that mostly. So let's look at the fifth pillar, which is to improve gender relations and promote gender equality. And that's the reason why you see the international team promoting gender equality, so that we look at it holistically and then for it to be one-sided. So to improve gender relations, it helps in the workplace to bring about productivity, because no one side is feeling marginalized. So if the men, just as the women too, will be given equal opportunities, and that's why we want to be grateful to this management. You will see that you have more females, they are being elevated. They are being elevated because the merit system is there too, that when a female can be up to the task. You see the likes of Zokwe Beslo Kone, they are moving, they are doing tremendously well. And you see Cecilia Clark, they are there.
Musu Salif.
Musu Salif. Then you look at Himo
Laura
Risho, you
Brown.
see Laura Brown. I mean, you just name the rest, they are there. And we feel proud working along with them. And we give them that courtesy.
Thank you.
Yes, and that's why it's important to promote gender relations in the workplace. So number 6, which is the last pillar, it has to do with creating a safer, not only a safer, but a better world. This one has to do with the globe, where people can be safe and grow to reach their full potential. Because in the absence of a safe place, the workplace, there should be a good, people should work in harmony. There should be a good working relationship. It should be safe. And there's a reason why when there's labor harmony and safety is there, people live peacefully, they coexist, they can produce, and that will help to shape the world. And it should be about making the world to go better, and they should live peaceably.
Now, Master, you guys have been here for a very long time in terms of years. Have we had such a celebration here before on a previous administration dating back maybe from the 90s? Have you observed these kind of days? I'm not talking about International Women Day, because every year the women always celebrated their own, but that is organized by the government of Liberia. I know they went to Kakata, they went to Tubmanburg, but has it happened here on any administration since you've been here?
Well, I think in my introductory comment, I said that this is the first of its
Okay.
kind here
All
at
right.
LBS.
Okay.
In fact, the whole idea just came about this year. And so we never had any prior knowledge as to how we organize it. We had a series of meetings where we're brainstorming to see what we do, how we incorporate other people coming in here. And like Victor said, the intent of this International Men's Day is to actually create that cohesive atmosphere amongst the men and the women here at LBS. Today I was opportune to talk to one of the local radio stations, and the guy asked me whether we were intending to take this thing out of LBS and take it to the national level. And I think that should be our concentration the next time around.
Absolutely.
We are starting at a very small pace this time around, but we hope that the next time, if we are planning, we can incorporate other people. Probably we can even incorporate the entire media landscape of Liberia, and we create the awareness out there. Because one of the pillars here talk about, this global harmonization, bringing sanity
Yeah.
to the world. And if you bring it in our own setting, it has to do with uh, children or youth in the streets.
Okay.
What can we do as men? You say, are we not concerned about the one that we bear as children? No. There's a need for us to go out there. There's a need for us to touch those lives. Okay, so maybe in subsequent celebrations, we're going to be looking at some of those things. We're going to leave our compound, incorporate other people so that we can touch the lives of this, how you call it, children are out there who do not have the opportunity to live like children in their homes. Mind you, those children today who are on drugs, those who are living wayward lives, came from the homes. Okay? So in order to get them doing those things that we wanted to do as society, we need to rehabilitate them. So what do? Is it only national responsibility? I think yes, it's national responsibility, but we as men, is our, because like the Bible said, we are the head of the family. Okay, so those children out there, they came from home. Probably their parents did what they could do to keep them not going on the street, but because of bad habits, they are there. So what are we doing? Are we going to incorporate them? Are we going to have a program that we can get them up the street? So it's not just about fun fair. Those things that will make our environment safe and safer is what we want to do. And this is just the beginning. Well, I think as we celebrate year in, year out, we'll try to incorporate other things that will be of benefit to our society.
Thank you. Let me recognize the other batch of people who have joined us. Then I will come and take some calls. We see us speaking Mr. Bobby Livingston, he's a counselor at law, to talk about the law side of it. And this discussion ends at 5:15. Hopefully, they're not taking my next guest, Mr. Ramsey Gore, will be coming to talk about education and the future of Liberian children. Little Bird S. Holder is watching me from somewhere in Matari. And she said today's the birthday of Geraldine Holder. She works at the airline. Geraldine Holder, happy birthday to you, Geraldine. I dedicate this show to you, Geraldine Holder, the daughter of Little Bird S. Holder. Linda Morris is watching us this afternoon. That's Maki Matus Gosso. Say hello. And she says, following from Police Academy Jallah. Welcome, my sister, Maki Matus Gosso, watching us from Police Academy. Kolba Biakwe, watching direct from Vanjama City, Lofa County, is a Liberian journalist, a man who has won a lot of accolades for himself in the media profession. Let me say welcome to the guys who joined us earlier. Bobby Gibson said, I'm watching live from Wheeler, Gibsonville, Magibby County. Wow, they had Gibsonville there too. Okay. Honorable Ambassador T. Calvin Tobe Jr. That Tobe Jr. says, good evening, LBS. I'm following you live from India, Punjab Estate. Wow, welcome, my brother. Welcome, Ambassador Honorable T. Calvin Tobe Jr. Linda Morris has joined us. Let me say greetings to every one of you who have just joined our feed. Let me go back to my guest. Let me open the line for a few minutes. Then I will take your calls and come back. If you're a female, you want to call, we'll take your calls because we want to know the help you give the men that makes them to be where they are. They are the breadwinners that go out there in the morning. You know, sometimes somebody asks me, so these women who are working, their husband working, when they take pay, they can be share that money to the husband too and say they want add it to the full money and give it back to me. That's right.
It's a difficult one, right?
Yeah, because they are working, we're working, so but it depends on our
They're asking for yours.
yeah. Everything is they'll go to daddy. You go to daddy. So when daddy stays home, he spend more money than the woman than he has to spend. But again,
But
they are working.
They are really of help.
Uh,
You know,
they are helping.
Yeah, bringing up the children.
Of your in terms of finances, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They help because, but if sometimes when it comes to money, it can be difficult. It's
I
bit
thought-
of-
Yes.
I don't allow.
you need
Well,
to
like,
do that.
what would say, let's have this scenario where you have a man and a wife, both of them are working. That's what we would talk about, the rules now.
Yeah.
The rules of maintaining the home, managing the home. Where there's competition, the men are working and the women too want to work,
Yeah.
so that at least they put bread on the table. While it's true that biblically it is the man's responsibility to provide for the home, to make sure that.
But
the home does not
sometimes
go
the
to
woman
debt.
going to work, she's working.
Yes.
You may have to pay away under the more ends.
Yeah, those things can happen in some instances, but mostly
The
There
man,
are-
the
there
man,
are-
the
there
man,
are-
the
there are
man
some women
pays.
who are very helpful to
The
their,
men,
their
yeah,
men.
I know, many of them. I'm just saying some cases, but the women too. Some will not be helpful in that area. The man pays your way to go to work every morning. He pays the Santa Claus fee. He pays the nurse and do everything. But yet you don't share the little one you get from your work to with the man. Sometimes it becomes an issue in some homes. But call us on 08005140096, 08005140096. Call us on that number, or you call 0770560560. And that number is also on WhatsApp. Those of you who want to call us from overseas, you can also call me on that number, 0770560560. Just make sure your international dialing code is there. You call 08005140096. And that's the number, that's the landline number to call. But the two lines are on, they are working concomitantly. You can call out of them. Melvin M. Tinney has joined us. He said, keep up the good work. And call us, let's talk. It's important to hear from you men. What are your women doing at home to help complement your efforts? 080514096. And what can they do for you on this International Women's Day? Men's Day, rather, sorry. Yeah, International Men's Day. If you don't have anything to say, please don't beep the numbers. It's not good to do that. Some of you are so less busy. While others want to call and make input, you making the line so busy so they can call. Okay, it doesn't make anything to you. Wow, this country. Hello, welcome. Let's hear you, my brother. Hello? Hello, female, right?
This is Zina Gabo calling from Jallah.
Okay, Madam Gabo, welcome. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine.
Okay.
I want to commend the women of Nigeria. They are all in the ring under the sun working to make sure they help their husbands. So that one, without anything to have.
Okay.
See it for yourself. But
Oh, yeah.
I got one major question for the whole world.
Mm.
You men are the ones that they are shipping. Why are you telling us every day, especially for the international, you hear, gunmen enter the village, kill these people, and kill number of people, this, that, and you are the ones that giving us the shipment. Why are you giving us everything?
Hey, Mama,
That's question.
thank you, yeah. Master answer that question.
I'm crying. Yeah, it's too much.
I know, Mama, I feel your pain because sometimes in the Western world, as you stated, you hear government just enter the other state and kill 9 people. They're going inside, they kill children in the school. And they are adopting people in the other state in Nigeria. And all of those, I know what you're talking about. I feel your pain.
For the whole world.
Thank you, Mama. Thanks so much. Let me take this caller right here. Hello, welcome you live on the Bumper Show. Let's hear you.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, welcome you live. Let's hear you. What's your name? Where do you call from?
Thank you. This is William Lemoyne. I call from Greenville, Sino County.
Greenville, Sano County comes alive with Monrovia. Let's hear you quickly.
Thank you very much. You get for the National Men's Day program that is beginning at the station.
Okay.
I really want to pray that this now we can get women conference all around the world, all around Africa and other countries. Since the child born today, they will begin to crawl and they begin to walk and they begin to do some big things. Since this revelation It must be successful. You know, it can happen in the churches. The churches got Father's Day, they got Mother's Day. So I think when you go that left, I appreciate the idea for men getting together to discuss national issues.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
very
you for
kindly.
agreeing.
Thank you so very kindly. Hello, welcome. The next caller is here. Welcome. Let's hear it quickly.
Thank you very much. I'm Joseph Poe. I'm calling from Sinopam, to be specific. District number 3, Tajuwan District.
Tajuwan, welcome to Painesville.
Yeah, thank you very much. I listen to the show and I'm so impressed. You know, the women attached to men these days are doing well. Most of them are doing well. For example, for me, my wife has been so instrumental in developing our lives, you know, including our children. So you see, women attached to men is a great boost for the upbringing of the children, or keeping the strangers warm whenever strangers come home. And women are doing well. But their men, the fiancés, the husbands, they are doing well.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. It's so good that we have wives and they are all good to us.
Thank you very kindly. Then this caller was on the line. He was not patient.
Chai, got to tell your callers we are celebrating International Men's Day. Not with me now.
Yeah, but that made me mistake. But you know, they just talking about the contribution of women.
Yeah,
to
talk
us.
about the contribution of men first.
So let me say welcome to Duncan Williams, July born Lucky Gay, watching us from Buchanan City. Buchanan City. Good afternoon. I'm watching you from Omega Market. It's William David Dober. Let me take this caller. Hello, welcome. You are on the radio.
Okay. Thank you ever so much for giving such an opportunity at this point in time.
Okay.
Anyway, by the way of introduction, I'm Regis Bell speaking to you from Lima County, specifically Fangalo Street in Sanikoli City.
Fangalo Street. I know you monitor via Radio Sancoin.
On a serious note, thank you ever so much for the show.
Welcome. Let's hear you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you once again. It gives me a great, sadness when it comes to this ethnic gender equality.
But we're talking about International Men's Day. We're not talking about gender equality, yo.
Oh yes, of course. I'm quite following the show, but it's just a little contribution that I just want to make. Okay, so.
Oh, he gone off. Hello, welcome. Let's hear you. The next caller.
Yeah, hello, Jallah Grayfield. This is C.A.B. Dennis and I call from Sanikoli, Lima County.
Sanikoli, welcome. How are you?
Thank you very much. Let me commend the studio guest and that of the host of our time, that is Grayfield. It is important that we have this day celebrated, and we want to also use this medium to applaud our Liberian women. It may surprise you that since the civil crisis in our country, our women have been doing tremendously well. And they have been complementing our efforts, and these activities must not be unnoticed. As you can see, if you do a survey in all of our markets, you see the Liberian women are there. You show that they complement the little salary or staffing we receive from our work, which cannot even put food on the table, but they are there with us on a daily basis, encouraging us so that we cannot get bread.
Yeah, so the women, when you leave the full money home, they can ask on in there.
That's just a gossip. That's a gossip, you know, that when full money is small, women can take us some. No, I don't buy that because I knew my Liberian women are very strong, especially for the one that has a strong woman.
Okay.
And let me say, it is important that we continue to help bring them up, make them to get to the spotlight in this contemporary society we find ourselves in, so that they too can be able to ably make decisions in society. So it is important that we complement our partners in the 30% in this men convention that is coming, so that they themselves can be able to understand their role play.
Thank you so very kindly, my brother Valai, for joining us. He's following the show this afternoon for Kakata Magibi County. While Sir Morris live from Bangabong County at Kalando gas station, he says he's following us this afternoon. We've been expecting Mr. Bobby Livingstone. Bobby Livingstone is a Liberian lawyer. He's just walking in. And we'll take about 20 more minutes because Bobby has come. We'll take 20 more minutes. Gentlemen, your partner coming as we take the counselor. Oh, you want to make a you want to be into
let me just say something. You know,
it's the same purpose we here.
Jallah, thank you so much, Baba. I'm not impressed with the calls that we are getting on the line. Today we have come to celebrate men. And I thought those calling from the counties would be very much fair to this discussion to pinpoint some of the great contributions some of the guys are making in the county. Men.
Yeah.
I'm talking about men from the private sector.
That's how they want to respond to,
no,
to,
what
to
happened?
the discussion.
We all know that the women have been doing well. Okay, so coming on Men's Day program to be telling us what they are doing, in my mind, it's not a fair judgment.
Okay.
We have come to highlight those things that men are doing. Look, for instance, in Nima County, there's one individual that impacting Nima County and Liberia so much. Flor Toma, for instance.
It's not just one person. They have many Flor
No,
Thomas.
I guess saying something to you, right? Flor Toma, for instance.
Prince Howard, for example.
Prince Howard, for instance. Okay, so you have so many men, and it cuts across. You go to Granjida, you go to Sino, you go to Bapolu, where my own senator Amanja is making strides. He has a very big farm, impacting like so much. So I think we have come to highlight the contributions of men.
Thank you.
I think we should be looking.
Victor, your party coming 1 minute. We have to take the council of Ali for 20-25 minutes.
Well, thank you very much to our callers. We want to say thank you for calling, and to all men. We open it out there. We pray that national government will look in this direction, that just as International Women Day have been supported, so that there will be some allocation so that we can all celebrate together. But this time, because of some constraints, budgetary constraints, we are not extending outside there. We are only going to do it among ourselves here as a start. I want to say thank you very much. This is the very first time in Liberia we've seen it. International Men's Day has been.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thanks for coming. These are the organizers of the International Men's Day here at LBS. This is ELBC Radio 99.9 and all frequencies across Liberia. My name is Jallah Grayfield. Remember Jallah Grayfield chapter 1 verse 1. Let's talk and talk and talk, and now shall we fight. Fighting shall never be our portion. As we celebrate International Men's Day, Bobby Livingston, the Council of Law, has joined us this afternoon. We'll talk for 25 minutes or so and talk about the importance of men in the position as lawyers. What impact are they making in the society? And what is the importance of this day? This is PCK's asking God to protect our leaders in Liberia. He prays for us in the Pele vernacular. Nangala de Menkame. Mr. Ramsey Gore, an educator, will join me from the flip side of 5 o'clock. And we'll talk for about 35 to 40 minutes, 35 minutes or so.
I love my people.
I love my people. I love my country. Father, save us from this pandemic.
Especially our leaders.
Our leaders. Samuel Bannon says he's following us on West Point. Welcome to the show. It is on a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Tuesday evening outside the nation's capital. Councillor Bobby Livingston is our guest on this segment. Usually I join the guys at 4 o'clock. I guess it was some travel issues. Councillor, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Your microphone is at all. Yes. Okay, so.
Thank you very much, Jallah. It's a great opportunity to be here again. It's been quite a while since I was last in this very beautiful studio of yours. Thank you for the invite.
Thank you. Let me say thank you to Irene Jokonyo Bobo. She said she's sending a special strong treat to all men of LBS, and she appreciates every one of us. Councillor Harris, a bar association.
Oh, good. The bar, as you know, as the elite professional organization of the country, is on a very good footing. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing, keeping the profession afloat, ensuring that people perform and do the duty or their professional services to the clients in the way as prescribed by our code of conduct and our general practice rules in Liberia. So by and large, the LMB is doing good. But please know that I am no longer in the central leadership of
I
the
know
bar,
that. I'm speaking
although I'm
collectively,
serving
yeah.
at the level of the committee. But the bar is doing good.
Bobby, we are observing International Men's Day this week. The 19th of this month is the main day. Tell us about the contribution of men in the position as a lawyer. What have they done? What transformative decision they've taken that have brought the world to as a global village that they're still making those impacts?
Well, that's a huge tax because I think if you look across our space at home, in the country, and in our professional cycle, you realize that the men are playing what we call indispensable role. As a matter of fact, at the level of the LMBA, you will realize that the men practically are in the driving seat of the Bar Association since its inception in 1907. We have no record to this date or till up to today that a lady has risen to the position of a president of the bar.
Wow.
How be it, that is not to say that it is not possible, but it accentuates the key fact that the men of Liberia, the lawyers, have had the flag. They've raised the torch of the practice of law in Liberia, and they continue to be in a driving seat in the practice of law. And that is to also highlight that a family and a career and a home without a man in real life, it's not a home. So the role of men of men in the society cannot be overemphasized, Jallah. And so, as this day has been set aside, honor the team helping men and boys, I think it is important that we elevate this discussion to the point where men should not see themselves as backbenchers. They should not go to a point where they reduce themselves as if they are underachievers. I think we need to raise the level of the discussion to instilling in men this sense that they must control, they must take the leadership, they must be the people that will set the standards.
And taking that leadership doesn't mean that women should be marginalized, be put on the back bench,
No.
and subjected to the kitchen just as women.
Jallah, I come with a narrative on the postulate
Okay.
that the issue of women rising to power or to be given their own position or for their voices to be heard should not be given on as a gratis.
Okay, that's the
Should
point
not-
from which
should-
it comes.
Yeah, it should not be given as
And
some
I
gesture.
have also
And
harbored the same views.
I have.
and I say harbour
I'm
the same
fortunate
view.
to have very great daughters, and I know the potential that they carry. All right, so I don't come to this debate underestimating and trying to sidestep or gloss over the importance of women. That is not my argument.
Your argument is they can be accepted, but they should also go for it.
Just as we all have to sweat and take our hands on our feet and put the sweat on the other side, it should be the same. And we shouldn't go, for example, when we go to the fitness club, and then the women say this exercise look like for men, and then we'll come to discussing issue of leadership and other taking position in society, and they say they want, So what I'm saying, Jallah, they have also very important and critical role to play, okay? But they must step up to their game. They must step up to the plate. They should rise to the occasion that it will not be given to them on silver platter. All right? And they should prepare themselves. And they should believe in themselves just as the men are able to climb on light poles.
That's a strong argument, Bobby.
Yes, it is a strong argument. And in the case, nobody say because the biological makeup. Look, we're talking about coming onto the table to discuss, to play and to take our respective positions, and you think somebody can easily relinquish their position? When I tell my students in international communication class and say that this theory of development thinking, that people think, the concept that nations are meant to be made by other nations to be like them. Is it possible? Can a nation make another nation to be like that nation? I mean, you know, it will be an illusion. It will be a mirage.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just like to say that going back to the legal profession, you will really know that the ladies, our female colleagues are trying, but they need to mash up. If you find out the practice, we have over 700 lawyers, and my stats show that the number of female lawyers will be somewhere around not more than 150 or 175 or something. I may have to check that stats up later, but
Okay.
I'm just trying to say it's still disproportionate.
Okay.
All right. And even when we come
I'll
to
come back to
elections,
you. I'll come back to you,
go
Bobby.
ahead.
Let me welcome Mr. John A. Kenyol. He's the President General of the Federation of Motorcycles and Tricycles Union of Liberia. Welcome, my brother. How are you?
Well, thank you so much. It is a pleasure being here.
How is the Cyclist Union, my man?
Well, thank God. We are moving forward.
I know I was like, just you're listening to Bobby when you try to bring his TC comments about this whole International Men's Day. What is your thought about the whole International Men's Day celebration as a president of the Motorcycles and Tricycles Union? And what impact are men in that sector making in our country and the world at large?
Well, thank you. There is a good discussion that I appreciate being a part of. And for the sector that I came from, looking at the sector traditionally is a sector that is dominantly being operated by men.
Okay.
Not many women, even outside Liberia, not many women are involved in the sector. And there's a lady who used to be on traffic right in Duburu, commercializing or taxi. It used to be very strange when people see her. In my very side, say, my uncle. And we've tried to encourage even women within our sector, all right, to see how best they can get involved, riding motorcycle or keke.
But they see as a masculine job. They didn't see as a women job.
That's how it is. And that's why we try to play a role as leaders of making sure that they are encouraged, that they can do same. Whatever we are doing as men, they can do same.
So they think, you're driving in the South, Bobby, but what is the impact? You want to tell us the impact?
Well, the impact we are making, the first thing, the role of the transport sector is to be able to transport people from one point to another, the change of location from one point to another, taking people from one place to another, from one destination to another. So I believe that with the kind of role we are making, like take for example, the lawyer is going to job. He doesn't have a car, all right? Specifically, I want to speak about the motorcycle sector, right?
Yeah.
All right. The first thing before going to a job, he will want to get motorcycle or keke to rush him to his working place. And so
Because of the traffic sometimes.
because of the traffic, and so at the end of the day, he will get to work on time. And the transport sector is contributing immensely to our economy. Take, for example, the number of bikes being imported in this country and taxes being paid to government. The number of cars in this country, and take into consideration the amount of taxes that are being collected from the importation of car or from the platinum,
Okay.
all right, from the platinum. So the transport sector is contributing. And for the men, we as men, we are playing a managerial role, both administrative and that of both administrative, and we are also playing operational role.
Now,
Because
many of your guys who are involved in cycling around town or out of the city, many of them also use a bike to go to school.
Sure.
And then they are impacted by the school, and they are good citizens. But some of them are also involved in criminal activities. These men who you say they are riding cycles are the one who go in the night and jack bags. They are
Today-
the one who transport the armed robbers.
Today, for our sector, we
this-
have
mhm.
for our sector we have over 300,000 people, young men.
300,000.
Yeah, and other men involved riding commercial motorcycle and tricycle. take for example, from the past regime to this regime, when the past regime introduced what they call the poverty reduction strategy. If Liberia came from a 14-year civil crisis, if this country was just going to remain the way it was without the introduction of this sector, I tell you for free, it would have been difficult to maintain peace and stability in Liberia. Because where you see people in the street doing nothing, at the end of the day, what do you expect? All right, they will do anything just to get living for themselves. But today, because of motorcycle, some of us, we to where we are today, I ran back for 8 good years, and it is true.
Now you have ascended to the position of president.
Yes, it is because of motorbike today. I left this country, I went out and came back. It is because of this same motorbike. I'm going to school, all right? And today, go to various universities, you see bikes, packed, and people are learning. And if a motorbike male can tell his wife, I'm coming within the next 15, 20 minutes or 1 hour.
Pull a part of fire.
Oh, yes.
Pull a part of fire,
Right?
come back.
So to tell you the kind of contribution of this sector to our economy and that to our society and to peace. So we are contributing immensely.
Let me come back to Bobby. The lawyers are here. Sometimes when you commit crimes, these are the people who can represent your legal interest. But Bobby, in the sector you find yourself, you are talking about the ratio of men to women when it comes to the lawyering profession rather. And so how is it like if in terms of encouraging women to come on board? Is it that they don't want to come, they don't want to take advantage of it? And how is your impact in that sector going to represent people?
Yeah, sure. Again, like we have to play a leadership role, and playing leadership role, one of the ways you effective leader is to be able to attract and produce even more and better leaders after your turn, your time. So it goes to say that we are also have been encouraging a lot of females to enter into the legal profession. But again, the thing is, if you enter the field, you go. We are not going to say take the gown and come. You have to see the nature. You have to see that pull, what is pulling you and pushing you to excel into the career. And like he was saying, I remember once or twice, or on a few occasions, I spotted females in the sector, a motorcycle, and then another time on the what do you call that stuff? The keke. And then it vanished and like it's diminishing. It's all about taking an upward spiral. All right. Look at the police. Look at the military. I mean, now we also have to take some conscious efforts to also encourage, because again, there are also traditional implications. For some time, going back into our culture, many of the the generations before them, our mothers, grandmothers, they were seeing that people who are just homekeepers to born to get children for the men. And in fact, my aunt in our town meeting told me, you see what our old people did to us? They kept us and then sent only our brothers to school.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I was sitting by the women in the church pew after service, but then they were having their own regrets as to, because they were on the committee. I had to even come to help them to put the structure together and then to make the report to go. So the point is also, we have to look at the argument in two different dimensions. I came up with a more conservative view first, that, they must rise to the occasion, they must take the challenge. Again, it also has to be a concerted effort. For example, at homes and in organizations, to also encourage the women to rise to the occasion, to take the mantle of leadership. All right?
Okay.
But again, that will not be done on silver platter. We shouldn't give you leadership because you only a woman, you have no qualifications, you have no competence. How will you get the position? So, I mean, you get my point?
Yeah, I'm getting
so
your point.
it must be a holistic approach. They must develop the requisite skills. They must go to school. And then we must also say, look, let help you to push you. But you must first have the desire to push yourself.
Now, Bobby, as a lawyer.
But we keep talking main business.
Yeah, man, yeah, I'm talking as a man.
So
in
I
a
don't want
lawyer.
to fall
Yeah,
all of the.
yeah, but you like. But how is it like about the men's participation in international lawyering? Maybe do you have some of your men who are making impact in the global world as lawyers from Liberia?
You see, the way our practice is structured is that, for example, being part of, like, if you want to be at the European Bar Association, African Bar, those are things that it's a personal thing. The LMBA does not.
Even being personal, but
yeah, the LMBA
do we
does
have
not
them
say
there?
you must. Oh, of course, for example, in recent time, in August, a group number of a couple of Liberian lawyers were in Malawi to attend the African Bar Association.
Okay.
I mean, in fact, a delegation was led by the president of the Bar Association, including other members of the LMBA, myself, and others who were there. Of course, Councillor Cephas was also there, and we have Councillor.
And Cephas became the vice president, right?
No,
he's
with yeah. So we have Councillor Johnson, and others. Okay, and we also have who overlook the role of like Councillor Siwa Copot. He's an outstanding liberal. Even the late Councillor Charles Walker Bronskin, and a host of other Liberian lawyers who have demonstrated and represented us in other foreign jurisdictions. And a couple of our Liberian lawyers are members of foreign bars, of local bars in the States. All right, like those who study in America and other places, they are members of those bars, and they go to do representation and take matters. But it is not being projected here, like maybe through news conferences and those kind of things. But by and large, the what is to be celebrated of a lawyer is how astute that lawyer is in terms of the way you represent your client, the paying attention to detail, the ethical issues. You understand me? I mean, you are being paid, but you're not going to compromise, all right, because of the issue of money, all right? The standards that you set, okay, how you project yourself as a lawyer to your client, even locally and internationally. We know Liberian lawyers who have gone to ECOWAS court to represent other lawyers citizens who felt aggrieved and felt that they didn't get relief at home, or their basic rights were violated. Liberians are represented them at the ECOWAS court. All right? We even one of my own young colleagues, like Councillor Gould, he had made a number of representations at ECOWAS court. All right? Councillor Taylor, Milton Taylor, and a number of them. You know what I mean? So what we're saying, the issue is that Liberian male lawyers are making tremendous strides.
Okay.
All right, in pushing the profession.
Let me come back to my uncle, John A.F. Kenyon, the chairman, President General Federation of Motorcycles and Tricycles Union of Liberia. Now, you are talking about the contribution you're making, but there are some of your colleagues who are in rural Liberia. We just look at a greater picture from Montserrat or Monrovia as a whole, that you are making impact here. What about the ones down the line? The other time I'm watching and listening and go following news, is a motorcyclist, right, riding on the road, found a very huge amount of money and returned it.
Yeah, and I was actually proud when over the years we've been branded negatively that motorcyclists are only good at doing evil and all of that. So when Emmanuel Tudo from Nima County found such huge sum of money and returned it, I was happy. And so with that, this is what we've been talking about. Go in rural areas. We just called a meeting in Nima County some part of last month, and wherein we brought together leadership from the 15 counties, and we signed a resolution for the maintenance of peace before, during, and after elections.
Okay.
And I was told in a certain part of River G, car doesn't just go there easily. Only motorbike. So tell me, motorbike is doing a great job, and those guys are helping our citizens in that part of the country. The Grand G there, the guys make me to understand that certain places there, they don't even just see car. All right? But at the end of the day, they are helping, taking people from one point to another so that they can be able to earn their living. And so these are things that we are doing. If we were not introduced, if this industry was not actually introduced, I tell you for free, like I said, the peace we enjoy today, it would have been very difficult for us because thousands and thousands of people are involved in this industry today, and they are helping their family. They are contributing to the growth and development of our country.
How do you weed all those those bad ones? Just few days I was listening to our correspondent.
Yeah.
Well, some of your motorcyclists are involved in stealing people goat, putting cap on their head and dressing as a human being, and they come and sell it. So I was like laughing. Which country was that? I think it was one of the legal countries. And then I say, motorcyclists are also doing these things.
Raw
Maserati. Dress a goat, put hat on the head, and put a coat on the goat, and you sit in the motorbike, somebody sit there behind.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's not possible, but to see a commercial cyclist getting involved in such act, I can safely say to you that it's difficult. Once upon a time, I was on the radio, and someone called and said they saw cyclists climbing on light pole to steal current. So I was saying, wow, why with a motorcyclist, what's the possibility of cyclists leaving his traffic and climbing on light pole? Right? What the idea he has about that? All right. Now, what we are saying is that we are the bad elements. It's every one of us business. It's not just one person. Like I said, we have over 300,000 Liberians who are involved in this business, who are riding motorbike and riding keke around here. And today, because of that, they have their families that they are putting food on their table. They can tell their wife, I'm going on the road and coming back, I'm going to send food money, and they are able to do that. They are no longer brought into society. They are no longer, no one can just easily tell motorcyclists or any young person who is involved in this business, let's go and cause a problem, and then they'll be willing to go there. Today, I tell you for free, just get out there or go in any of the counties. Tell any of the motorcyclists, pack your bag, let's go and cause problem. You see what they will follow you. Okay. All right? So to tell you that whatever that is happening today, you cannot exclude the contribution of our sector towards.
We're almost going to come out of this program. Let me say welcome to you, Pastor Momo M. Sano. He said, I'm live from Kolahun District, Lofa County. Very impressive. Thanks for the numberless contributions towards the young people in Liberia, sir. May God continue to empower and protect you in Jesus Christ's name. Amen. Bobby, we almost out of time. We have 5 more minutes. I just want you to wrap up your parting comments and tell us about, I have not heard that a lawyer became a president here. Have we?
Of course.
Which lawyer became president?
We had the President King was
a lawyer.
Yeah. So okay. Lawyer, yeah. So far yet,
but in our recent history, no.
No, not that I know right now. Okay. Yes, not that I know right now. Okay. But there's a lawyer who is canvassing to be president. One of our very astute, also of international reputation. Okay. Councillor Tiawonse Gonglu also canvassing.
Yeah, one point in time, Jallah Ali Baba was trying to contest for the presidency.
Yeah. Okay, he's also one of our finalists too. Councillor Baba, who is current dean of the Louis Underground School of Law. So to max up my comment, I would like to say that the role of men in the society today cannot be underestimated. Men continue to be that towering pillar that continue to sustain household, continue to set the standards for families, and people look up to them for daily bread or for livelihood. We should continue to encourage the men and our young boys coming up to be good role models, to take leadership, to conduct themselves properly. I'm very interested in the issue of motorcycles. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to a time that I hope I can have time to sit and discuss with the president of the Motorcycles Union. Mm-hmm. I think we need to do a lot of. They have a strategic role they're playing, but we need to do some internal reform. Okay. To make the setup better. Again, I'd like to say that Liberian lawyers will continue to be a critical part of the whole orderliness, keeping rule of law intact. You know, as our team will call it, adherence to rule of law. We are saying that what Liberia is going through today, or in whatever respect, the weaknesses that we have as a society, if we can go back to the drawing board and go by adherence to rule of law, you see a lot of changes. You see a lot of progress. Our society will make a little more greater of what called strides and better strides to be.
Let's come to
Thank you so much.
Kenyo. Make your parting comments and tell us what is the last word for the men as we celebrate this day.
Well, our sector, the journalists want to get to work on time. We are ready to take you there on time. Our old man who want to go to the market, no car, the motorcyclists,
They
tricyclists
are the main
there.
people who using the
The students,
motorcyclists.
oh yes, the students want to go to class on time. They use motorbike. People are, sometimes our mothers, at
Sometimes
home,
the lawyers too.
they are in labor. Oh, how come in
They
there?
can be in their coastal.
Oh yes, our mothers sometimes when they are in labor to take them to hospital on time, motorbike. So and then the lawyers to get to court on time. Oh yes, rush me, I want to go on time. So they will use motorbike. Even you, the journalist, will rush to come here. You want to use motorbike.
So why you came
Even oh yes, I use motorbike. My bike is downstairs. so we are doing our best. Like he said,
Thank you.
all we need to do is to continue to work to making sure that the sector is not used in a negative form, and that's why we are always calling on our politicians not to use the sector for the negative aspect. Wherein at the end of the day, we will now only be the one to be branded negatively.
Thank you,
so
gentlemen.
we want to
Thanks
say
for
to the
coming.
cyclists out there, continue to be agents of positive change.
Okay.
That we say in Nima, we are agents of positive change. Do not allow anyone to call you suicide bomber, non-living thing, or whatever. But you should define yourself in a positive way, wherein you will contribute positively to the society.
Thank you, Mr. John that's A.E. Koyal. He's the President General Federation of Motorcycles and Tricycles Union. He was in conversation here with me, along with Bobby Livingston, sorry. Bobby Livingston is a Liberian lawyer, a very astute lawyer. Let me take this break as a welcome our next guest, who is just around the corner.
Thank you, Jallah.
Yeah. Let me get this one. My sponsor messages.
My people, oh yes, Liberia's biggest problem is fire. Momo Wese was some buzz again. Hey, easy. Kesia Umba, and not easy. When people get over $200,000 United States prices to get away, all you have to do, just relax and just keep using MTN mobile money to buy all your airtime, send and receive money, pay your bill, pay your school fees, and buy your small thing then. And also use your MTN mobile money to do all your shopping in supermarket or anywhere you go. Any small anything you do on Momo, you stand a chance to win any of the people far prices. The people say you stand a chance to win money, smartphone, television set, 1 year free DSTV subscription, 1 year free LEC bill payment, motorbike, keke, or a brand new car. If you thought last year was big, you not see nothing here because your chances of winning are even bigger this year. All you have to do is to dial *156# now and Momo. Only on MTN Momo. Visit Loon Stars MTN on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or Twitter for more details. If anybody asks you, tell them say that I in Jamaica, aka Mr. Momo. Give you the information, baby.
MTN.
Welcome to ELBC Radio. It's a Bombo Show. Stay continuous. It is International Men's Day celebration. Stay continuing with another man walking in, but this time around in a different portfolio. He is an educator, a young man with a big vision. Ramsey Gore, welcome to the Bombo Show.
Thank you ever so much, Jallah Grayfield.
And how have you been, my man?
Well, we now celebrating the International Men's Day. And
I see you're red, and I'm told it's red and blue today. You're in red.
Yeah, so I'm in red. It represents, all of the men that stand up for the valor, the bravery, or the bravery of, mankind, and the men who have braved the storm And so I stand up for the believing of, what, I believe in as a
Okay.
Liberian. So I believe red.
How is your institution, the Chinese institution you run? I forgot the name again.
That is Hope China International.
Hope China
Academy.
International, right here on the Abitoa Road, right?
Of course, the way it is.
And what is like in terms of the enrollment this year? Because you were introducing new programs and educational programs as well. But you've been concerned about the number of children in the streets of Monrovia, here Liberia and in the school. What is a contribution to their education?
Well, Emmanuel, Jallah Grayfield, I missed the day that we used to have people in the street trying to look out for kids. I miss the days when video clubs were closed. I also miss those days when you had people from the municipal, authorities going around. When I was schooling in Grand Bassa and I came to Monrovia, I miss those days when places were shut down until kids were from school. Now we're looking at the streets of Monrovia, Painesville specifically. You see a lot of kids still in the street. Now the situation and the excuses parents will provide, and they are genuine, and you can excuse them as well, is that there's no money, and like I said from the initial stage, school owners, we owe not just for the sake of making money. We owe the students, the parents, the children, these obligations to have them in school, and then you have schools that have operated for quite enormous, years, yet still they have not been able to do as much as they can to ensure their kids are in school. Now today, the government, is doing everything they can, which we don't want to delve into. People get paid at the latter end of the month, sometimes after the 8th, and even furthermore, as it is. And most of these parents in Liberia, they don't have private companies or